City cat, country cat. Based on a fable by Aesop by Julius Lester, illustrated by Bill Meyer. City cat, country cat. Share a fable. What is the story about? Duncan and Daria. Where does the story happen? The city. The country. Once there were two cats, Duncan and Daria. They were brother and sister. When they were little, Daria went to live in a big city. Duncan went to live in a small town. They missed each other very much. One day, Daria decided to go visit Duncan. Cats have a good sense of smell. Daria was not far from the city when her quivering nose smelled a sweet smell. She knew Duncan was near. They were so happy to see each other. "Let me show you my community," Duncan said to Daria. He was very proud of his town. Duncan showed Daria the school. Then he showed her the hospital. Duncan and Daria walked by the store where people shopped and the different houses where people, cats, and dogs lived. "Isn't this a great community?" exclaimed Duncan. "I love it here." Daria shook her head. "But everything is so small, and it is too quiet around here. You have to come see where I live. That is a real community." Duncan followed Daria back to the city. As soon as he got to the city, Duncan wanted to go home. The buildings were so tall, and there were so many loud people. It was so noisy that Daria had to shout so Duncan could hear her. Daria showed Duncan a school. "This is only one of the schools in my city," she told him. "We have many schools." Then she showed him a hospital. "This is only one of many hospitals in my city," she said. Daria showed him some of the many apartment buildings where people lived. She also showed him many stores. "Isn't this a great community?" exclaimed Daria. "I love it here." Duncan was trembling. "But everything is so big, and there is too much noise," he said. "Yes," agreed Daria, "but every sound tells me something new." "It gives me a headache," Duncan said. "I'm sorry," Daria said. Then she nuzzled him and made him feel safe. "Let me show you how to get back to your town," Daria offered. When they reached the edge of the city, Duncan said to his sister, "I'm glad you are so happy in your community." "And I'm glad that you are so happy in your community," Daria replied. "If you ever need some quiet, come visit me," Duncan offered. "And if you ever want some excitement, come visit me," said Daria. So Duncan and Daria went back to their communities, and each was happy that the other was happy.